Okay, so good. So this is part 2 from Shir 1 of Tiferes of good Netzach Shabbat Tiferes. Okay. So basically, we're here. Hayom Rueh Vayonos, Hayom Rueh Vayonos, Yadin Yosef La'achir, and then I have a Haram Rak Diche'elim. So what happens that something happens to me that I run for my life. I have an experience. I have an emotional experience. I see a mitzvah comes my way and I want nothing to do with it. I'm just using that as an emotional. I don't know why. Or we have a Haram Rak Diche'elim. Something happens to you and you dance like a shepsila. Okay. So we have Shishim Rib Noshamas Yisrael Shinem Shacham Shishim Rib Oisis HaMachshava. So du 600,000 Noshamas Yisrael. Wus wird genommen von 600,000 Oisis HaMachshava. And Anikar Acham, each and every one of us has a letter. When you find that letter, when you discover that letter, that's your fire, that's your Mizbeach, that is your Beis HaMikdash. And that's the Beis HaMikdash of fire that will never be put out. Once you find your letter, you find your calling, you find your voice, ain't nobody taking that away from you. Because that's when you're connected, your Yisoid is connected to your Machshava, to your Chachma, and once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. That is one more thing that you see by the tzaddik Reb Shaya. That's one more thing that you see by the tzaddik. It helps you find your eyes. It helps you find your voice. What do I really want? Okay. Oisis HaMachshava nikra acham l'kitchebricha shem ha'midas ekma derech mashal ha'machshava seichel she'oisis hem ke'etzem echad ha'mehuz ha'seichel she'betoichem v'chein machshavas ha'midas hem ha'midas v'chein machshavas ha'midas hem ha'midas v'az hem bechinas elikus mamash kebatzilus ivach yiver gemi chad k'mo shkos ha'makamach. In other words, once you're aligning yourself with the machshava in the midas, you get in touch with your essence. That's when you are aligned in Atzilus. You get your purpose, you find your voice, and you get your calling, and that's when you are good. In order for there to be a neshama in bechinas yesh, leaves bechinas nivra. Listen to this. This is where the tricky part comes in. This is the she bechinas nifrad ma'ayin mamash. In order for there to be a neshama, a bechinas yesh, there should be a godly, a get l'chazach in a yesh, in a nifrad, which we are right now. A process has to take place. How do you take something ruchni, something that knows the truth, and disconnect him from the truth? So he doesn't. He just sees a struggle. Doesn't see the purpose of it. What happens over here? Rabbi Yosef Batzilus, when we were still in Atzilus, when the neshama was in Atzilus, he bechinas elikus mamash. You're bechinas elikus. Ki gam ma shenikra b'shem oisis machshava hakal shakicha oizen. Oisis machshava is just for your ear, so you can relate to it. Okay, but his machshava is not like our machshava. He thinks differently. Who are you? The midas malchus is baruch. That happens through the midah of malchus. Malchus is what causes separation. The minute we step into the program of malchus, that's when the nifrit program starts. We go into the world of separation. Shu anik lavush. It's called. This is called a lavush. It's called a dress, a clothing. The halam elahaster to fadek in tzifashtel. Lahalam is tzifadek and lahaster tzibahalten. In other words, it's going to get tricky with you. It's going to play games with you. Literally, it's spinning you in spins to the point where, like, why can't I get an answer by the tzaddik? Why is he not talking to me? That is lahalam lahaster. That's the malchus program. That's what he's edraitun de Torahs. The bigger of a fire you are, the more your hester is going to be. Because the more you have to tune into dakas to align yourself better. And it's usually the chaver that are real mavakshim, those are the ones that don't get the answers.
Oh, shit.
You have no, but you have no choice. You can stop. Go ahead, try to stop. See how that goes for you. You're gonna have to get the job done. Whatever your sound and your voice is, you're gonna have to get the job done. So again, there's the blue pill and then there's the red pill. And you guys swallowed the blue pill already. You're done. There's no way back. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. The truth may not make you happy, but it will set you free.
What's the red pill?
The red pill is the world that you go and you get an answer. You get another 100,000 in your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Now that doesn't mean that you won't. You'll get $1 million, but in proper alignment. Yeah, okay. What are you really after? What are you really asking for? Maybe that's what he's saying. What are you really after? Hashem Malach Geis Lavish. Hashem is Kenigt, the Hashem Malach. How does he become king? Geis Lavish. It's gewoon in guys. Kemidas HaMalucha Hi Alavush. Hagoyim Lias Hisavas Hayesh. The Midas HaMalucha is a Alavush, a begit, which is Goyim Masazan Hisavas Hayesh. Because from the clothing that I'm putting on, from this whole process of Welt, where I have to do and I have to make, and my ego, all that, these are levushim. And that causes to be a yesh, that I don't see, why is it not working out for me? Why is it not happening for me? Why is it not happening? And I'm not just talking, I'm talking to everybody, right? We're all in the struggle. We're all have days that it's like, come on, okay, give me a break already. Yeah. Ke'en melech b'lo am. Listen to this. Ein melech b'lo am. There is no melech without a nation. There has to be a folk. It has to be a nation. Why? V'hainu nifradim. It's a nifrid. Dafka. Shalem yitochen hamlucha. Because on them, it's possible for there to be a melucha. Lies b'bchinas is nasas aleim. Ken sich der Heidem of zay. He can gewaltigen zay. He can be emotional zay. V'hem yu be'ema. And they will be in awe, in respect. Sharai al mei bonim lo yikra of melech. You can have 100 children, you can have 1,000 children, but I'm still your father, I'm not your king. In order for there to be a king, there has to be separation. Now, the closer you are to the king, the more rigid it's going to get. The more selfless you are. The closer you are to the fire, the less you need. I'm here next to the king. I need nothing. My position is I'm ready to go to fire for my king. Okay? Completely selfless. Now here comes the piece. Okay, that's why Malchus is called Yam. Here, take one candle out of it. For you and him, you can have to. Okay, here we're going into Kriyas Yamsuf. This is the important part. This is going to answer why you are in the struggle. This is going to answer the skad why I can't see it. Okay. Malchus is called Yam. Kol mal sheyesh b'yabasha yesh b'yam. Jede zaak wat ze doen of de trikkenish is doen Yam. Rak she'en in la'ayin. Alles wat ze das doen of de eerd is ook doen de Yam. Everything that you are experiencing over here in the Yabasha comes from up there, from up above. It's an energy world. It happens there. That means that when I'm having a day that I can't see, means that my light is blocked by something. There's too much gevuras that's covered. There's a halama and a stara. Why? Because he's playing again. He wants me to find him. He wants me to dig deeper. Kimei yam mechasim aleim. The vase from the Mei Yam is verdekken on them. V'kach lamala hine oisis yihi or yihi rekia hamachayas kol oilemas hem batzilas. The oises he or Yerikia was get Silzana a himmel, Sazan light is this get leben for the gans for alle elements, hem batzilas. By Yam Shuha Malchus, and the Yam was his Namalchus, Machas Alem, Bilti is Galal in the Vram, Hamasapim Mehem. Shim Hoy Mes Galam Hoy Agashmiz, Bottle Beruchnis, Kamashal Bittel, Ziva Shamish, Boer Shamish, the Bemar Ziva Shamish Bemar Atzma, Ve'enir Leyesh. El Bemakam Shena Marnir. In other words, like this. The purpose of the whole existence is in Atzilus. The reason, the clarity of everything is in Atzilus. In other words, in higher consciousness, it all makes sense. Everything is aligned perfectly. Over then, the Vaser is Mechasa. Once Malchus comes into play, Salzavi Aparsa, Afirang, Sidekzi, and Mitamul, I'm like, who's got the four? Why should the Titzach do? I'm walking around the Weisz, who's the Yishen this? What's going on over here? It's the same Indian as Bittel Ziv Hashemesh B'Moir. In other words, the sun rays that come through, that you see over here, is also in the sun itself. All right, Vikim the Strahl Rosfin, the light that comes out from the light is already in the light, but in the light he takes up zero space. In the light, the light that brings the light that shines out of that screen over here is over there. Over here it brings light, but in there he takes up zero space because he's in the actual fire. So too, our whole existence up there, it has no vart, it doesn't know of its existence. Only once it lands over here, thousands of miles away, does he become a yesh. Okay, so too, we are also up there, we are one with it, and we have no say, then there would be no purpose of creation. Because I wouldn't know of my existence. Because in the ma'ah, in the source of the power, the power is not generating. I am power.
He lets you feel.
So in order for me to feel, in order for us to feel, we have to become a nifrit. We have to become a yesh. How do I become a yesh and a nifrit? Malchus. Malchus spreads out, which is the yam, miskase. And once that happens, it takes time to get from point A to point B. It takes me time to develop and understand. There's almost like it's stretched all the way down to the bottom, and now we're working our way back to oneness. But this time, and that's going to be, right now we're in Malchus, we're using the middas to climb back up the ladder, but once we're going to get now to Keser, back into behind the curtain, we're going to go behind what in Atzilus, we're going to have the mindfulness, I'm going to know that of who I am. Once we're going to be fully awake, now you know already that you're going to know the experience because you were in separation.
So you can't get upset if you fall.
You can't get upset. That's all part of your process.
It's part of the
Now
process.
that is Kriyas Yamsuf. That's what happens Shviyah Shel Pesach. Shviyah Shel Pesach, it opens up. The sea splits, and you're able to see. And Ma'ashara Shivcha Layam. That's when we say we are the Bnei Yisrael, much higher than the Shivcha. So Shviyah Shel Pesach, there is a download of connection that we're able to go behind the curtain. We're able to go in behind the order because the sea is split. What does it mean the sea is split? I see that my problems are really nothing. It was just here for me to understand, to wake up to who I am, to become aware of who I am. Yeah? Okay.
The other shemesh goes back to the shemesh.
Yeah.
It's possible again, right?
Yeah, but very good. But now that you already know, now that you've been through we've been put through the ringer and the squeeze so much, and it's a part of your existence already. That even when you're going to go back to Mar, you're going to hold. After going through a Holocaust and Golas of 2,000 years of pressing and endless, that when we're finally going to meet, when this consciousness is going to meet Keser, we're going to understand, I know, I'm going very well, I know where I am.
There's no Metzias anymore.
But we're going to stay Metzias because it has to be in Guf. In the phys, the Guf is going to experience this consciousness. Yankel, Rabbi Yankel, we're cold. Make it higher. Finish. What number is it on? Put it on 72, if you don't mind. But that's the point. I'm trying to build some steam. Who's smoking? What are you talking about? No, the air conditioner makes it even worse.
The air conditioner blows it around. We're left.
No. It's in your head. Nothing is smoking here. We're this Torah. We're fire. We're learning Torah. No, chas v'chalila. Weiter. Kach, okay. Kach Gashmias, Hamasava hoi bottle l'mkoire. Ja, wie gaat dat? Kennst du nicht kleben der Wörter durch? Okay, Hamasava mahem shaim hoi mesgal. Okay, here we go. Vayam shua machas meskase aleim, bilti izgal nevram Hamasava mahem. Shim hoi mesgal hoi agashmias bottle beruchnias. Kamasha bittel ziva shemesh b'mar. Atzma v'eina nir liyash. Elig b'mokem she'ena mar nir. Kach Gashmias. Okay, so too. Hamasava, hoi bottle l'mkoire. Huruchnias, hamahava. Wie ef shalis mitzias neshama, en malach shem beginnes dan vrouw de marak shehem bahava, erke shena lakus begilui beroi mamash. Oh, well, you'll have to sit on that. No answer for that answer. Okay, I'm going to get this over. Kach Gashmias, Hamasava, hoi bottle l'mkoire. Yeah, the Gashmias would have been bottle. If you had too much awareness, you would be bottled to the makir. Yeah, Klas and Nefesh, the tzaddikim at Klas and Nefesh, they were bottled to the makir. They saw it all the way through. He had to grab something in his hand to stay grounded. Right, the Rebbe is, they used to all...
That was Nudav Navi?
Yes. They were nichel back into the source, yes.
So
Masche, fliegt Shalashidis, also ein Stück so, Shalashidis. Ich fliegt nach Uchat, nur so, wenn es nicht so war, auf dem Vergessen, last allein.
When it was?
Wenn es nicht so war, noch man last allein von Mistake. Noch man kann schon last allein, fliegt so ein bisschen so, fliegt man so Uchat. Wenn es nicht so war, nicht schon damals.
Ja, maar dat was online.
Ja, last allein, nicht so.
Ja, maar is er gegangen.
Okay.
Wenn fliegt so, als staat ein Stück so, als Moshe Rabbein ist nicht geworden, Weisz Raven der Raven. Ist nicht geworden, Weisz Raven der Raven. Dort fliegt so ausgehen.
Yeah, we can tap into that. Okay. Kach Gashmis Amasava. Hoi Batel Mekoire. Huruchnis. Hamahava. Wie Efshalis Matthias Neshama. En Malach Shem beginnes Nefradim. Rak Shehem Ba'ahava. Okay. There wouldn't be Matthias Neshama in Malach, which is a Mechinas Nifrit. Rak Shehem Ba'ahava. Elaka She'en Elakuz Begili Beriya Mamash. Only when there isn't Gili Elakuz Beriya Mamash, that's when they can be a Nifrit. V'helem v'hester zu ala de Malchus. This Helem and Hester that you're experiencing, the draw, the pain, the restriction is all, it's the Malchus program. And each and every one of us have our Malchus program. And unfortunately, we are so mata that we're dealing with such a helm that our pain, our struggle makes no sense. Like, what's the purpose of this? What am I going to gain from this? But the answer is that Itaka makes no sense. But our level of awareness that we're going to have, that we're gaining from this, that we're going to be able to see a lakus in a table. You're going to be able to see a lakus in anything, in your day-to-day, in your car, in your Lexus, in your Rolex, and whatever it is you're going to see in your sandwich, in the shefa that we're having, in the business ayam. We're going to be able to see taka us, guys that are working, struggling on the streets with the simple taivas and temptations that you overcome. You're going to be able to see what the tzaddikim can't see. That's the point of this. You're going to see it in your struggle because we are so exposed down to the bottom, and because we need to. That's our job. You have different units. You have these units that go around and they're like, dismantle the bombs. I mean, the risk rate is what? What are the chances of walking out alive? To walk into a house that could be wired with explosives, and you have to dismantle it in enemy territory. This is what we're doing every single day. Walking out on the streets, you're walking into a live bomb with all types of temptations.
What does it mean, Aran Yishem Chazdechu?
No.
Hashem shows that, what do you want, like, Aran Yishem Chazdechu is what shows...
Yeah, from Lama Lama.
What's the question?
I always thought, Aran Yishem Chazdechu, we ask Hashem, show me why you're doing it, like, show it to me, why?
No.
So when you see
So now you see it from Mata Maila is Aran Hashem Chazdecha. From Maila Mata, you're like Harein Hashem Chazdecha. It's all Eibishter. It's all Him. It's all you. You don't have to get too complicated. It's not like I have to figure out Chesed Shebegvura Tefer. Distant. It's all you. The spin in business. I see you, Eibishter. Of course, I love you. I'm not doing this. It's all you. I got you. Oh, you here? You want to play pickable? I see you here too. You're going to throw me this curveball, I'm going to do the process, but I know it's all you. Because I love you and you love me, so I know it's all you. And every day you catch him from another angle. And it doesn't bother every day. Not every day. He comes every now and then, he comes to give you some excitement, because if you don't feel the pinch, you're like, if it's not, I said, you're not going to appreciate it. Yeah, which seltzer do you drink? You drink Saratoga, or you drink the glass bottle, the Bayer Mines? It's all Rasen.
you made me do this, okay?
Okay, good. Fine.
But I do
tequila.
Hot peppers and hot pickles.
Good. Right? So there you go. Kizek klal gadol. Shamalchus hi hageremes liz beginnes yesh kanal. Malchus is the goyrem that there should be beginnes yesh kenes bar lael. V'nikr lakach imet etah maternisa ein in mabonim kom shkos b'sev shabayna b'shem azer. Lechen hanashama hi beginnes iber b'malchus. The neshama got that on in an iber. It goes into it's put into an incubator called malchus. The neshama goes into an incubator called Veld. The neshama goes into an incubator called whatever struggle you have. We are also creating an incubator, which we are learning Torah's Chasidus. We do the same. We use the same technique. It's an incubator to give us, make us feel the pain. We're creating an incubator of light. so we can feel and process the light. לכן הנשמה בכנס איבר במלכוס כבשמיני עצרת שאומר מורד הגשם נמשוכם הנשמה is berechim manukva. Shmini Atzeres, when we say Mord Geshem, we bring down the Geshem, bring down the Neshamas go in to the Rechem of the Nukva, which is a Malchus. V'shoyim Sham Zayin Chadashim. They're over there, they zen in the womb for Zim Chadushim. Ad Zayin Shal Pesach. Zman Aleda. And Pesach, Shvi Shal Pesach, that's when we're born. Okay? Aderech Moshel Bagashman, Shilois Salvas Mahuz Vlad, Men Atipa, Tzarech Lis Ika V'shia Zayin Chadashim Berechem. In order for a baby to be born, from the tippa, from the drop, the geshem that comes from the father to the mother, it has to be in the mother's womb, 7 chadushim, or 9, whatever, 7, whatever it is. Berech manukva has to go into the nukva, which is the feminine. Shebameshach zman zeh al dei she'oichel v'shoyse mama she'imoy oichelas v'shoyse v'nimshach boichias ad she'esay eliyas yesh. Bis veta yesh. Zol bezach skimt around the tippa, which is a gashmi aruchnis di gezach. It goes into the rechem imoy, which is the nukva, which is the malchus, and it drinks and eats from what the mother has, and from there becomes a yesh, is born. So too, the same process we go through. We go from the small to the big. Everything plays over from the macro, from the micro to the macro.
So that's also the sphere now?
Sphere is already, we're already born. Now 7 weeks of processing the midas, but we're already born. But now we're becoming aware of who we are by feeling the pain. Kach hanashama, or not, the happiness, the light. Kach hanashama dat zila shebichinas ein b'gdeshes havalis b'chinas yashu al desh misakeves berechem anukva v'shoy sham zayin chadasham v'chelas v'shoyse chuli shenimshach sham oiris al yonim v'hine bezayin shal pesach hine leidas hanashamas. Okay, everybody's with me? Or I need to touch, or we're good? Okay. In order for there to be the womb, I should wake up to the power, to my light. There has to be amshacha and order to malchus. I need something higher than the ordinary, something bigger than the ordinary to wake me up to bring life to my neshama. I think we're gonna skip the parentheses, just because we want to keep going. This is what if I was to go into proper Seder Shtalshalis, you're stuck in the 49 levels of, you're never going to get out. I need something superpower. I need the big Rebbe to walk in to make Seder. Because if you leave it with us, we need a big power to walk in to be like, everybody's like, okay, surrender. So in my daily struggle, it comes to Eibshek Telfon Sadzangid. Okay, it's not enough to pull me out. I'm still in my struggle. Work it out with your wife. I can't overcome I can't connect. Okay? But when there's a superpower and you make all of a sudden $1 million in your bank and you're super excited and you're super happy, something out of the ordinary happens, you have the koyach to snap out and break out and you're like, oh, no, let's just do this. Let's go on a vacation. Let's think out of the box. Okay? We had something from higher than a shtalshalos. Okay? From Melech Malcham Malcham, from the highest source itself. The yam, my regular day today that gives me the halama, that doesn't say the shtalshalos. Avul begili ha'aris shalamala mishtalshalos habich miyam lavasha. Aber begili ha'aris shalamala, when if I get something that's higher from mishtalshalos, that's going to turn from my water is going to turn into yabasha. From my struggle, all of a sudden I see clearly. It dries out my whole struggle and it's like as if it was never here. Why are you screaming at me? This program is not about, there's no negotiations here. You're not going to figure this out. Because if you're still figuring out, if I do 1, I'm going to get 2. If I do 3, I'm going to get 6. If you're still figuring out, you're still going to stay in the spin. You're still going to stay in the same circle. The same thing is going to it's a revolving door. But if I go in for something that's higher, I go to a place where I have no words anymore. I get a higher power, I surrender. And he's going to tell us how this works. Ma titzik alei batika tali milsa. Right? Moshe tells the Eden, the Eibusha said, be quiet, vaisui. Guy, vakaran vaser. Now, how was my vich vaisnus? Just walk. I don't know how it's going to. You go forward. It's going to figure itself out. Batika tali milsa shemasham nimshach hakoich liz beginnes leiden. Vehine, begilu ya'ara zu, azaya harem ragdu. When there's this type of a gili, that's when the berg haibunun springen. Ahudem rag de geelem. Haibun tanzen like wie schepselig. Ahudem hem chesed gewurde teferes. Ahudem dezen de chesed gewurde teferes. The gavois and the tune, there is the mountains, and then there is the valleys. The gavois chesed gewurde teferes. The bria oy netzach had so the atzilus. V'liyo shehem lamal b'mchinas yam shehu atzimtzim kanal. 1 second. I skipped one piece that basically I didn't elaborate on one piece which is important. That in Seder Shtalshalis, there is in the Welt, here we're in Seder Shtalshalis, in this incubator you can only do what you can do. Okay? But in the Makiv, once you step out of it, once you step out of the game, you step out of the loop, over there is Kilakam Kaloi Chashiv. Okay, once I go into I step out from my day to day, I step into Yom Tov, which is Lamayla Mizman. I step into Simcha, put it together. From that place, everything is possible because I'm going into Atik. I'm going into a place that is above Lamayla from negotiations. It's like when you see this guy calls it, you're an idiot. Okay, whatever. It's not even Tifus Makam B'chal. All right, you're going into a higher place of that. The yam is the tzimtzum. Your day-to-day struggle is tzimtzum. It's restriction canal. Once this oir soiviv was nizgala, then it's it's like the net that the fire, the candle that doesn't take up any space, like the rays of the sun doesn't take up any space within the mar. And this is what he started off before, that we're like a sar lifnei melech. In other words, the evet in front of the king, he's all shaken up. But the sar, the high level of general, he's when the melech walks in, he's happy to see the king. He's like, he sees me now. So we're switching from evet, we're switching from a melech ben, from melech evet, from the melech to the slave, into ave ben. Okay, so we're going in. Once we step out from our seder shtal, so during my day-to-day struggle, I'm like an evet. I have kabbalah, so I take it. The tzaddik is not answering me. I guess it's for the best. But once I step into my high conscience, I step into my yom tov, I step into my kriyas yom tov, then I'm a ben melech. I got this. Of course, he's listening to me. When you're a cup of wine deep, you have no issues. You're the ben melech. Alle teritzim zijn verantwoord geworden. Ja, it's Mittwoch, bis das behag. The Freitag, Erev Shabbos, the Bekelach werden roit, and the Bisgit. You know exactly where it's at. You'll be there, don't worry about it. Okay, we're almost done. You become the Ben Melech. You become the Ben Melech. You become the Ben Melech. You become the son of the king.
Av is better. Av is not a better position. Ben and Av.
I'm sorry, Av and Ben. Av and Ben. There's Melech Evet, and Av and Ben. Yes. Okay. I'm under pressure because I feel like I'm holding the guys too long. I don't know. Okay. V'haina sha'oris the tikkun am lubish bekelim nestalkim an akelim. The oiris. Okay. Shebegila arasev. When this higher light comes into play, when this higher conscience comes into play, everything is mavatal. All the kelim are bottle. All my struggles, which is the oil comes in every day, but every day it's neslabish in kelim, and these kelim are pretty rough. They're very rough kelim. They're heavy kelim. They look like whatever your struggle looks like. But once we go into Shabbos mode, we go into high conscious mode, there's different kelim. And in those kelim, I can see the light. My struggle is not there. And that's when we start the Ragdi Kelim, we start dancing. V'hainasha, oiris, the tikkun am mulbushim bekelim, once it's Mesak and it goes into kelim, nestalkim and kelim, nichle be'oiris hamakiv, we go into oir makiv, and over there it's silence. It just happens. Yes, every Shabbos there's a Lisa Oilmas. Oy hakol hakol medarge ledarge. Asiya beitzira bebriya. Vanikra hilach nagait. Avalei rikud. Every Shabbos you're walking. You're going from one level to another level. By Musav you have lecham. You're already there. Aval harikud hu aliyah gdoila. when you jump, you're hopping over. Okay? Shaloi badargi klal. The Haina Ba'ira, so it's not like it's canal, it's not like the badargi. It's not like the regular, I'm walking from point A to point B. In order for me to have one, I need to take two, and then I have three. Now we're talking about we're skipping over. Okay, that's also the Pesach. He hopped over, he skipped over the Seder Shtalshalas, and we go on with the matzah, and we're in a whole different space. Ke'elam she'en behem das. Listen to this. The Che'elim, these tzigel, these shepshelach, they have no das. They're happy. They're jumping. Right? So too, she'en behem das v'sheirish. That's why we're going into Atik. In Atik, it's Lamayla Matan Vadas. You have no explanation for it. You have no expression. You're just happy. 4 cups of wine, you're just happy. There's nothing to talk about. It's higher than Das. Okay, here you have a little bit of a taste of what is it, Adala Yada. Piram metrinkt Adala Yada. There's Adala Yada, there's nothing to talk about. Just get into the mood, feel it. Get into the expression. Avalayam Surfa the Khaldaran. The Yam is the Sof from alle Madreg, from alle Dark, from alle levels. Hamaster and Malam was Sibahal. Ikashiroi Gila Ora Serv, Loho Yachal Skala by Kanarov Nevoka. Kmaya Harim, Shrehu Hamalam, Lachem, Yamas, Avaris, Vistakas, Ahelam. In other words, your day-to-day struggle, when it sees Yom Tov coming, he's not dancing. It just, what did the week before Pesach start looking to you? What did it look like? It was full of pulling, confusion, running, stressed out. Everybody experiences it in different ways. If you learn Torah, you don't feel it so much. But everybody experiences it. This is because he's starting to smell Kriyas Yom Tov is coming, the light is coming. He can't rationalize it, so it's basically uncomfortable. It's kratzt in cup, and there's pressure. In as much as you thought it's going to cost, it costs more. And if you have it figured out, then it breaks. If the meal was planned here, it gets cancelled and it goes over there. And this is Amalam Lechen Vayamas. It runs. Havaras Vistalkas Ahelam. Okay, the stalkas Ahelam. It tit sich up. Unkan kashes. Wo derech mashal ba'adam. She bestalshel is mesegel. Ad la dibber. It goes from segel to dibber. Aval kasheneuvel ribe eure shalamalam asegel. When he gets too much shalamalam asegel, azay nifsek adibber ve'ishtik. Sometimes we get so excited that you have no words. You can't express it. You're like, I can't put it into words. Moshe couldn't talk because he was from Chachma. There was no expression. It was too much oil. And that's exactly was like this by design because it was because he had to be completely bottled, nothing of his own. He was completely mavatal. The voice just came out of his mouth. That's exactly the way it had to be because it was chachma, koichma. That's not presence. And the only time that we're experiencing that is when we daven Shemona Esrei. Hashem sefasei tiftach. Hashem, my master, sefasei, my lips I'm going to open. If he, in my mouth, yaget hilasecha, is going to speak your praises. That's it. When you go into Shemona Esrei, any machshava that you get, ashaloi l'Hashem hema, that is part of the process. Especially in Svira, when you get a machshava, that means that that's where the shemus fell down. There was a shvira over there. You just keep going with it. You don't pay any attention to it. Just keep going. The chapstach batakah b'shofer. You're there. Go with the flow. Just go with it. From before my master Chili Aretz, the earth Malchus had getzittet because Gili Aretz. There was Gili Aretz. Pesach is gekim and kanal. Ha'hofich tzur. So at Ibergedraid the tzur, the rock, the stein, v'chalomish, the flintstone. Metzia esh liyas agamayim. We're from the tzur. Our hearts are flintstones. The more you strike it, how does a flintstone work? A flintstone is that it's a firestone. You rub it against each other, and the spark comes out, and the fire comes. We are the tzur chalomish. Makar Chatzvah, we're carved out. The luchas were also from 2 stones. And the more, how are you going to activate us? The more you're going to strike me, the more fire I'm going to turn in. Look everything you've been through in your life, and here you're sitting. And you're like, yes, it's painful, but you're not getting rid of me. You're just getting me more excited, and you're getting me more angry, which means I have more love in me. No matter what you're gonna do, I don't matter how I don't care what you do. I'm right here. You can pull me by my ears, but ich sitz. Weisz, it was from Iraq, yeah. It was from
But on the sides of Iraq, the Gemara says that you could see it from both sides.
Yes.
Because it was a line.
Very good.
It was a line. It was like what you said. You could solve it.
Yep.
You could see through the samach and the mem. Everything was
It was holding.
holding from both sides. You
Yep.
could see the same letter from both sides.
Weisz, no, maar ik ga Patrick geven, dat denk ik.
Was?
Jeder mit des gedenken mal alle gut. Als der Memme gehabt, das gewinnt hat sich gehalten.
Yeah.
Wir calls him if ni Adam Giliard Giliard so kanal aufgeht sehr gut mal mit sie schließt er gar mein sie gewinnt a gamma von a fountain of water. The heine mit gevuder le chesed from your gevuders there's going to be chesed soon as bottle mit materialism. And listen, Chavre, let's make a chlata right now that we're going to turn the fire into water. That's it. We're going to turn the gevuders into chesadim. Be right now. Take it upon yourself. I'm going to turn in my gevuras into chasadim. I don't care. I don't care what you're spinning on me. I'm seeing only chasadim. Wake up tomorrow morning. The minute you open up your eyes, put a smile on your face. Kushan tachlis. I don't care what you're bringing. Okay. Ikanoide be'inin oizer shalom ben Michal. Michal and Gavril. Michal is Mayim and Gavril is Eish. And then comes Shchina, the Eibishter, Varosh Shchina scale, when they see the higher power, they both surrender and they live together. How can we both live here? I have one side is Chesed, my right side is Chesed, my left side is Gevuras. How do we coexist? Because there's a higher consciousness, and that's what the Rebbe tells us, that there's Atzmas within us. And Atzmas, that's how we can coexist. That's how we're living. You're a walking piece of contradiction. It makes no sense how we're walking together. Two complete opposites, fire and water. How does it say? Because there's a higher power within. So tap into the higher power. You step out from your struggle, bring das into what's going on over here, and that should then get connected with your atzmas. When you're in your struggle, you're being pulled from both sides. It's your chesed and gevurah pulling you. Step into the higher power, and this is sphere gives you the koich. After Kriyas Yamsuf, you had a moment of clarity. Right? Pesach is hopping. You don't have to do anything. It happens for you. After that, mitzvah sfiras oimer, memtes yom, 49 days, mimachras haShabbos. After Shabbos, and we're going to get into that on the other mimer. Now we have to do the work. It's from Mata Maila. We have the Mala Mata. We know how to look for it, but you're climbing the ladder step by step from bottom up. Shavuos is also Shuv, coming back, and that's where we are in Matan Torah, and we'll be there, Mitzvah Shem, in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 4 weeks we're going to be in Matan Torah. So, everybody.
Thank you.